Timeless reading for Aquarius, starting with the card God, followed by Flow, Spring, Elephant, Efficiency, and Pregnancy. This reading feels very, very light, very transparent, effortless, clear, clean, harmonious. The God card, I think, is obvious. This is a very, very spiritual reading for you. It's not very mundane. It might not even be what you are currently interested in. Maybe you do not have any issues with your earthly life at the moment, which doesn't have to mean that you don't have problems in your earthly life, but it might be that you do not care about your earthly problems currently too much. You are just wondering about spirituality, the truth. And with that, I do not mean religion or that kind of spirituality that so many people are trying to sell to you, or in general, with their convictions and thinking they are so much smarter or more open than religious people, while actually they are the same. It's all very tight in the mind, plagued with superstition and belief. So that might not be what you are interested in. So it is not only a mental kind of wondering and searching and asking, it is also a longing that comes from the heart, and the heart has to be open. And I feel like the people for whom this reading is meant, they already have a very open mind and an open heart. And they do not get easily brainwashed by other people's beliefs and convictions and books and whatever. And that is why there is a receiving of a divine spark. And due to that, there comes a flow. Something is moving forwards. Something is growing like spring here. Something is awakening also like spring. This flow is smooth and effortless. Like the fish in the card, you might have some companions. I feel like the river is very smooth. It is not a dangerous river. There are no predators that could catch the swimming little fish here. It is just peaceful. It is like a gift. And it is... there is something about instinct here. Like animals being born, humans being born with the instinct to drink milk. The instinct to know how to swallow. Like animals, they have to be taught by their mothers, for example, if they are predators, how to hunt. Humans, they have to be taught by their parents how to talk, or how to use language. But some things don't have to be taught to babies, whether they are baby animals or baby humans. Some things just happen by instinct, like eating, swallowing, pooping. There is something about that here that is important. You might have an understanding about something here and how these natural instincts that are connected to our earthly life and necessary for our earthly life, how they are connected to something deeply spiritual, while we might, as humans, when we think of ourselves of being very spiritual, very evolved, and we are such great thinkers and philosophers. And we, in like thinking about ourselves this way, we might then downplay other aspects in life and thinking of them as primitive. But you might realize that there is something that we consider as primitive that actually is a huge pathway to something that is not primitive at all, that is very intelligent. It is like flowing towards that or back towards this automatically. Like there is an instinct while being in the water that you don't have to know the way. You don't need a map. You don't need a GPS. You don't need anything. You will just instinctively know. Because it is automatically synchronized in your system how to move inside this other system. And you just have to follow that instinct that you used to think was quite primitive, but actually this primitive instinct might lead you somewhere that is not primitive at all. Yeah, as I already mentioned with the spring card here, spring is the reawakening of something. Spring is the growth. It brings warmth. It also brings food. Because in countries where winter is very cold, the plants go to sleep or die. There are no fruits, no vegetables, nothing is growing, so it's hard to find food. So we have to store enough food during spring and summer and store it somewhere safe so we can have something in winter. Something about this kind of process is something that you will realize. Spring also brings not only renewal, like something that was asleep is now reawakening, but it also brings, it's like recycling, but there is also something about some things that cannot be recycled and that just have to be new. It could indicate new circumstances in your life that might soon arrive, like new friends, new career paths, away from all these spiritual transformations that you might be experiencing right now or soon. There are external changes that are indicated by the spring card here. Something is being newly born, and for some of you, because we have the pregnancy card here, this could be a new human being. You could be pregnant. Or someone around you could be pregnant. Your partner could be pregnant. For others, if it's not a physical pregnancy, because this pregnancy card, I did not only draw a woman with a belly here, but the woman also has a lot of ideas in her head. So there could be pregnancy with something like being pregnant with ideas, being creative. Something is in the process here and it is soon ready to be born. Also, it reminds me of spring cleaning, even though by the time I'm doing this reading, it is already the end of June. And it's supposed to be a timeless reading, so we cannot fixate too much on time here. But even if this reading finds you during a winter month, then it could indicate that there is something regarding your spring cleaning in the next months that is of a very high significance here. And that will bring a lot of change. Maybe even, as I said, some things, they cannot be renewed. They just have to be replaced. They have to be sorted out, thrown away, because they are too broken, too old or something, and then it's being replaced. And during that process, you might have some kind of realization that is very big. We have the elephant here. I do not want to take him literally, or her. I do not feel like it's too much about some kind of animal. It's just a metaphor. The elephant is just a metaphor here in your case for something very big. A big, big change. Efficiency. Below the flow card. Yeah, it could also be that before tapping into this energy, you felt like there is a huge, chaotically entangled knot inside of your system, inside of your emotions and thoughts. And you might have felt like you want to act on something, you want to do something, but you couldn't because everything was chaotic and you couldn't figure out how to make all these ideas a reality. Like what you should do first, or what is more important. Maybe you have too many ideas that just start. Like you have the origin of the idea, but it's not really fully developed. And then you are not getting any further. Like, okay, I have this idea, or maybe you started writing this book and you know what it's supposed to be about, but then you get stuck in the very beginning. You have a feeling what you want to express with this story. You have a feeling about the characters in the story, but you still can't really decide or figure out how to proceed further in all the little details. But it doesn't have to be something creative in that way. You could also be working on inventing some kind of machine or whatever it is, a recipe, and you have been stuck for a long time in one point or several points with several things in your life, and you feel like actually you are like this octopus and you have all these arms and you have all these ideas, but somehow you couldn't act because everything was just tied up somewhere, and you couldn't use these arms that you have before tapping into this energy. But then you have this spiritual thing here, loosening everything, bringing clarity, bringing order, structure to everything. And then when you get into this flow and when you just let things grow naturally and have these huge realizations, then finally you will be able to work on what you wanted to work on. This knot that kept holding you back from using your arms, it will be automatically opened, and then your arms will become like wings, and then there is the birth of something. It could also be that maybe you were being slowed down with all your creative ideas at some point because life wanted you to focus on something else. Maybe for some of you, either there is a literal pregnancy and this is something that was meant to happen even though maybe you didn't want this or you didn't think of it, and you were busy with something but nothing really worked out. Everything was stopped, and then came a huge understanding and awakening, and during that this pregnancy happened. And as soon as you know about this pregnancy, you will be allowed to use your arms again, like life tying you up, saying, wait, I want you to focus on something else now, which is much more important. And if you figured that out, afterwards I will allow you to use your arms again. and do what you want to do. And for those of you where it's not about a physical pregnancy, then there might be some other kind of creative birth here or idea that was growing in the background somewhere in your subconscious that you didn't know about, but that some higher source knew about. And this is part of your destiny, but you couldn't see it and you couldn't feel it. So life had to, as I already said, hold you back, make your arms immovable, force you down, saying, wait, 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 please focus on something else. I want you to focus on this other project, on this other whatever it is. And after you done this job, I will allow you to get back to the work that you've been doing before. Okay, I'm gonna pull some health and lifestyle cards for you. Teeth, sleep, teddy, swim, doctor, hair, cold, kidney, and travel. I will also pull some letters for you. Maybe some of these letters or numbers have any meaning for you. We don't need that many. So there's an S, N, A, O, O or 0, 5, another 5, T, Z, we have a 2. Oh, so many 5s. So the number 5 seems to be very important. X, T, N. Okay, we have 3 5s, 2 T's and 2 N's. So that might be important. Let me think of a word. Can I find something here? Only ant. Maybe you've been working like an ant, always busy, but it became too much. So you had to be silenced by life. Oh, we also have 10, matching the swimsuit. Stan, that's a name. Not. And ton. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.